Digimon Seekers, Chapter 2, Part 5. Neither AG nor Lugomon could believe what they were seeing. Marvin's mighty Machinedramon, which looked all-powerful mere moments ago, was now motionless and spewing smoke. Its cyborg armored arms hung limp at its sides, massive gashes torn into the metal. What could possibly have cut into it that deeply? Nido Sirai! Twin sword slashes ripped through the air at those words, destroying everything in their path. Lugomon continued to search for whatever had done this. One of the X-Nation's defensive units? It seemed impossible. Marvin! Hey, Marvin! AG shouted, but heard no reply. This was bad, he thought to himself. Machinedramon must have shut down from all the damage. He couldn't even talk to Marvin. When people mind-link to their Digimon, the Digicore is safe so long as the person doesn't hololyze themselves or otherwise leave the core's confines. If the Digicore doesn't take any damage, the human within won't either. If the core gets damaged, or the Digimon loses consciousness or otherwise ceases operation, the human consciousness within loses all contact with their Digimon and the outside world. Hey, new guy! A voice in chat from one of the other pairs of SOC leaders pierced the silence. They had made short work of the defenses on their way to the meetup point. Machinedramon hasn't been captured yet? One of them yelled, startled. Whoa, what happened to Marvin? The other said as they both rushed over to Machinedраmon's side. A sneak attack took out Machinedramon and I can't reach Marvin. AG gave a panicked summary of the situation. They got him? We were supposed to draw all the defense forces away from you guys. The pair were utterly bewildered. If the defense forces didn't do it, then you don't think it was the Digi-Police? AG blurted out, panic filling his voice anew. The SOC pair shot that theory down immediately. This was above everyone's pay grade. If it came to light that the Japanese police had also hacked the X-Nation server, it would be the definition of an international incident. It was incredibly risky to do it so openly. We're up against another mega-level enemy. Everybody stay. What was that? A cloud of static? Digital noise? There was nothing there, and yet AG could see something catching the light. No sooner had the thought crossed AG's mind than a force threw him and all the others against the wall of the hangar. An electric shock ran through the wall, and from a purple electric cloud emerged lightning personified. Kazuchimon! The creature held twin blades crackling with lightning. Its clothing and obi-like belt recalled the Japanese god of thunder Takumi Kazuchi, from whom it likely took the inspiration for its name. That thing is deadly, Lugomon squeaked, trembling. The fear hit AG through the mind link. Kazuchimon could take on 1,000 of them with its horrific blades. It had honed its body and mind to absolute perfection. Its place as a Mega Digimon was well-deserved. AG felt faint. Mega followed after ultimate-level Digimon. They were basically the gods of the digital world. The Machinedramon in the X-Nation's possession was also a Mega Digimon. But Kazuchimon was on another level in a way AG couldn't quite articulate. Kazuchimon wasn't gigantic like Machinedramon, yet it instilled levels of fear beyond its gigantic counterpart. Machinedramon was right beside them, and yet Kazuchimon somehow felt more real, more alive. A Mega Kazuchimon? We only know one person capable of wrangling that thing, one of the SOC leaders squeaked. Wait, you know who's controlling that thing? It's another hacker, they said, their voice choked with fear. Goes by the handle, Judge. The Mega Kazuchimon let out 2 quick grunts as it swung its swords. The lightning bolt-shaped blades cut jagged shapes through the air. Did you say Judge? AG hadn't expected to hear a hacker's name. Hackers were no friends to code crackers. They might as well be the police as far as everyone present was concerned. The only difference was that the police, with their ability to open investigations and issue arrest warrants, were in theory public servants. Hackers were private citizens on the internet with a penchant for vigilante justice, self-governance types, self-righteous types. Code crackers fought for the freedom of the network, but there would always be those who didn't think the network should be so free. They wielded their so-called justice like a cudgel. Hackers had all sorts of ideas about what justice was, but all agreed on the need for it. That kept them from seeing eye to eye with code crackers. Each group talked past the other. At last, Kazuchimon's data appeared on AG's virtual monitor. He noticed something right away. A mind link, Lugomon, that thing is. It wouldn't be able to unlock the full extent of its mega-level powers without one. That hacker is in deep, Lugomon said quietly. The next thing AG heard was the sound of rending metal, and his stomach dropped. Machinedramon, who had been chained to the walls of the hangar, was not only awake, but finishing the job Marvin and Machinedramon started. It had already freed an arm and a leg. It would be impossible to control if it escaped. An unchecked Machinedramon loose on the network. AG didn't want to think about that. What a pity, Kazuchimon said at last. AG wondered if it was in fact Judge's voice coming through the voice chat. Then he wondered who on earth Judge was talking to. You have committed so many crimes. Not all of them willingly, perhaps, but you will be punished for them all the same. Kazuchimon, or Judge, said to Machinedramon. Had Kazuchimon been focused on Machinedramon all this time? Whatever the case was, AG had a bad feeling in the pit of his stomach. "No way," he shouted, aghast at what he was seeing. Kazuchimon summoned a number of spheres made of pure electricity, like it was charging up for a massive attack. In mere moments, the small space just before Kazuchimon was filled with energy equal to the whole world's energy consumption at any given moment. This was pulse power, and it essentially formed the core of a small sun, kicking off nuclear fusion. Charges fired off every nanosecond from the massive energy. Shinden Shuraiko! No one saw the exact moment it happened, but when the light faded and the spark ceased flying, all that was left was Machinedramon's hollowed-out husk. The charges had ripped clean through, all the way down to its digicore. AG looked at Machinedramon's shredded corpse. An ear-splitting roar reverberated throughout the hangar. Machinedramon's death throes. The source of so many Digimon crimes and terrorist acts was perishing before their eyes, falling to pieces and threatening to take the hangar and data server with it. "Return once more to your Digitama. This time I pray you are not taken in by a wicked soul," Judge said, eulogizing the state-secret Digimon. So this was the god of thunder, the Mega Digimon. Kazuchimon turned around to face the remaining codecrackers. Its gaze was enough to freeze the leaders of the SOC in place. AG took stock of the situation. Megadramon lay unconscious on the floor of the hangar. Hopefully Marvin was still alive in there somewhere, but he couldn't be sure. "Oh shoot, Marvin. How long has he been mind-linked?" Megadramon launched a massive attack when it attacked Machinedramon's coded fetters, which meant even a seasoned veteran like Marvin had to be close to reaching his limit. "As for you, SOC members," Judge said, fully turning his attention toward AG and the others. "They know who we are," Lugomon growled. "I've availed myself of your little operation here in order to quickly and efficiently rid the world of a state sponsor of terror. A massive source of Digimon crime has been eliminated, taking with it the X-Nation's ability to wage cyber warfare," Judge said, pausing as though waiting for applause. "Yeah, way to swoop in and steal our kill," AG yelled. Spy or no spy, he couldn't contain his anger at someone interfering with the operation, and I thank you for your role in leading me to it. But as a hacker, Judge let the word hang in the air long enough for AG to grit his teeth. "I couldn't let you code crackers have the pleasure." Judge severed the chat connection. So that was it. Judge had plotted all this out based on a hacker's warped sense of justice. "We have to get out of here," Lugomon said to AG through their mind link. "Huh?" AG said, shaken out of his trance. "The SOC operation was a failure, a colossal failure. This hacker's Mega Digimon unexpectedly interfered, and Marvin may be permanently lost. What should we do?" Lugomon said, laying out the situation before them. It took all of 2 seconds for AG to reach the same conclusion. "We've got to run. We can't be seen here," he said softly. "Good answer," Lugomon replied. "But we have to help Marvin," he said quickly. "The guy from the SOC, the organization you're supposed to be spying on, he's not your friend," Lugomon snarled. "I don't care. He made custom tools for me. He's a good guy. I've learned a lot from him, and I'm not just going to let him—" AG couldn't finish the thought. He switched to the chat with the other SOC leaders. "This is AG. The operation is a failure. We'll draw the hacker away while you grab Marvin and get out of here." "Okay, but are you sure you can take a Mega Digi?" "There's no time. Let's go, Lugomon." AG and Lugomon turned to face their enemy. One of the SOC teams approached Megadramon and attempted to scoop up Megadramon with the same tool they'd planned to use to capture Machinedramon. Kazuchimon lowered one of its 2 lightning-shaped blades. The electricity crackling around the hangar dissipated. "Where is your leader, Tartarus?" Judge demanded. "Rumor has it they've never lost a single person in any of the operations they've planned. I expect I've dragged that reputation through the mud today, and if you think I'm going to stop there and let you go quietly, think again. This shall be the SOC's final resting place. Boutmon, Ultimate Beastman Vaccine." "Just your ultimate form?" AG said, taunting but slightly surprised. This was a downgrade, not a digivolution, and he failed to see the rationale behind it. "I've defeated Marvin and Megadramon, your greatest assets, and neutralized Machinedramon, the greatest threat. This will be enough to clean up the rest of you," Judge said. AG would want to keep his distance if he could. Boutmon was a fighter. Getting involved in close-quarters combat would be a death sentence. "So we're weak? Easy targets?" AG said to himself, his fury growing by the second. "That hacker may be as even-tempered as you are angry, but if they're mind-linked, that means they're on the clock same as you. Just remember, they're still linked to an ultimate Digimon," Lugomon rationalized. "But Lugomon, I'm saying you're right, AG. If they're underestimating us, now's our chance." "You got it," AG barked, taking one last look at his monitor to check his stats. "Lugomon, Digivolve. We'll hit him where it hurts." Lugarman, Champion, Dark Beast, Virus. Lugomon was instantly enveloped in a ball of fire. They'd strike Boutmon, who was now speeding toward Megadramon, at a speed and angle it never anticipated. "Flame Blow!" Lugarman crashed into Boutmon and sent it flying off into the distance. It blocked the full force of the attack with its knees, but that gave AG and Lugarman enough distance to stay out of harm's way. Boutmon was visibly shaken. Though it had blocked the worst of the attack, its knees were now smoldering. It was taking continual damage from the remaining heat. AG saw the SOC team manage to secure Machinedramon with their tools. "You!" Judge seethed, now forced to reckon with AG and Lugarman. The move to its champion form had significantly increased the size of its legs, and its once blue-gray fur was now covered in flames that shot out from its body like a plume of decorative and deadly feathers. "Howling burner!" Lugarman roared, unleashing a torrent of fire. Boutmon blocked again, but the magic flames now covered its arms, adding to the damage tally. "Is evading all we can do against this Digimon? What is it even called, Lugarman?" Judge said through gritted teeth. AG kept up his hit-and-run attack patterns, keeping his fighting-type enemy at a healthy distance. "Do you really have all day to keep this up, you puny pugilist?" AG taunted. He had no idea what Judge was capable of, nor how much time they had left. Everyone had a time limit, but how close was Judge to theirs? If they were particularly compatible with their Digimon, this could be a long fight. "That's why you downgraded, isn't it? You spent some time linked to a mega form, launched a big attack, and now, despite being an amazing hacker, you found yourself needing to downgrade in order to buy yourself a little more time. You can't stay in there forever." The rest of AG's teammates remained in their rookie forms. Time was the most important factor now. They didn't have to win. They just had to buy enough time to get Marvin out of here. "All units retreat! You too, AG! Hurry!" shouted a familiar voice in the chat room. "Marvin, is that you? It sure is great to hear your voice." Machinedramon had come to inside the collection tool, restoring Marvin's chat access in the process. The SOC members began fleeing the hangar. "AG," Judge said softly with a hint of recognition. "Hacker Judge," Marvin yelled. "You've made a huge mistake destroying Machinedramon. You're gonna regret making enemies with the SOC. Keep barking, little dog. You've lost this fight, Marvin the Songsmith," Judge said dismissively. "You'll pay for this, Leon of Judgment," Marvin shouted back from within Megadramon's wounded body. "Leon!" AG's ears pricked up at the name. "AG, look!" Lugarman drew AG's attention back to his opponent, who was once again downgrading, this time to the rookie level. Pulsemon, rookie, Beastman, vaccine. They must have decided it was time to give up. They'd destroyed Machinedramon, which was the only objective. AG looked pointedly at the small, fairy-like Digimon that now stood before him, shooting off sparks like small fireworks. He couldn't shake the feeling he'd seen it somewhere before, a long time ago. "I'll only show you, AG. This is my treasure, my best friend." It all came rushing back to him. He was just a boy in elementary school when his friend showed him the same exact Digimon. He didn't know anything about Digimon, let alone the digital world back then. "Pulsemon?" AG turned the name over in his head. "Is that you, Leo?" "Leon Alexander." AG's curiosity got the better of him, and he hololized himself. He stood beside Lugarman for his opponent to see. He saw a change in Judge's demeanor within Pulsemon, too, perhaps at hearing a familiar nickname. Judge hololized himself. He was blonde-haired and blue-eyed, as AG remembered, but the small boy he once knew had grown into a sharp, muscular young man. But that face was him. It couldn't be anyone else. "Leo, AG Nagasumi?" The screeching sound of an alert shattered their reunion. The X-Nation's reinforcements were approaching, and alarms were sounding. The SOC attackers turned rescuers fled, with Marvin and Machinedramon still ensnared in their capture tool. AG, however, couldn't take his eyes off Leo and his partner Digimon. "Leo, it's you. How could you become a filthy code cracker?" Bullets rained down from above. The X-Nation's defense forces had assessed the situation and rained fire down upon Pulsemon. In an instant, Pulsemon turned into a bolt of lightning and shot away faster than AG or anyone else could track with the naked eye. "So you're a hacker now? I don't know what kind of history you have with Judge, but we're done here. We have to get out now," Lugarman barked, holding the security forces at bay with a wall of fire. Deep inside the Digicore, AG's mind reeled as Lugarman fled the hangar. End of Chapter 2, Part 5.